In the third episode of ParaDoc, Alien, Hidden in the Mona Lisa, The Secret of Da Vinci. It seems like we'll never be able to crack Leonardo da Vinci's code, but there are some very interesting facts that show us what extraordinary people there can be. Leonardo da Vinci was most likely homosexual. Apparently he loved two boys. He was unable to live out his homosexuality for fear of persecution. In 1476, he was brought to trial for allegedly abusing a boy. An apprentice of Da Vinci named Salage worked with the master for 25 years. He was supposedly Da Vinci's favorite. The most famous and greatest universal genius had such a sexual inclination. Da Vinci was a painter, architect, musician, anatomist, sculptor, mechanic, engineer, scientist, and philosopher. This man outlined ideas and inventions that could not be realized at the time and were only understood today. He was very ahead of his time. At that time, for example, he was already drawing helicopters and submarines and could simultaneously draw with one hand and write with the other hand. He also wrote in what is known as mirror writing, which means his writing can only be read with a mirror. So at least you couldn't read his writings directly. He put an incredible number of inventions and insights on paper. There are even so-called Leonardo da Vinci scientists today. His paintings look so real and are so incredibly detailed that no comparable pictures have been painted to date, as if the people in the pictures were made of flesh and blood. But why did he know a person's body so well? He dissected 30 corpses and thus created the beginning of medical history. His anatomical drawings from around 500 years ago can be compared with the modern representations of the body today. In addition to the most famous picture of all time, Mona Lisa, the picture called The Last Supper, is also one of the most famous and enigmatic works. Everything in the picture has a meaning. The number of people, the place where each person sits, the three walls that represent logic, ethics, and science, the three windows and their visibility, every facial expression and every posture, and even the empty space next to Jesus, which is supposed to represent an inverted triangle, which is the symbol for the female womb. What did he want to tell us with this symbol in a religious image? Why is it so important for people to know what a painter wants to say? Everyone has an opinion, but as it happens, some opinions have more value to us than others. Mona Lisa, the most discussed picture in the world. Secret and mysterious. It's still not entirely clear how he managed that mysterious smile and what it means. If you look at the portrait from a distance and just look into her eyes, it looks like she is smiling. However, if you just focus on her lips, you'll notice that she's not actually smiling at all. He has been working on this picture for years. Her gaze seems to deviate, but still somehow hits the viewer. There are no brushstrokes visible, making it look incredibly real. You can tell that Da Vinci intentionally made the picture mysterious, for example, by the fact that the picture has two different vanishing points, one for the background and one for the figure. The viewer only notices that something is wrong. Mona Lisa has no eyebrows, which makes her eyes more expressive. If every brushstroke of this artist has a meaning, then you automatically interpret the most unthinkable things. Some even think that Da Vinci had an alien hidden in his picture. When the image is mirrored and placed next to the other original, an unusual pattern can be seen. Two eyes look at the viewer. It looks incredibly suspiciously like an alien. Some claim that unusual figures can be found in each of his pictures when reflected, and that Da Vinci wanted to indirectly and covertly inform us about extraterrestrial life. Why, if you mirror his writings and come up with incredible insights, should nothing come out of his paintings when you mirror them? In a high-resolution copy of the portrait, the letters L and S, which stand for Da Vinci and Salage, can allegedly be read in the woman's eyes. As already mentioned, Salage was Da Vinci's favorite. Mon Salage means my Salage in French. Supposedly, this is an anagram of Mona Lisa. Did Da Vinci paint Solange as a woman and thus dedicate the best and most expensive painting in the world to his favorite? Or did Da Vinci, as many claim, paint himself as a woman? A person who smiles as a woman, but not as a man. In any case, her clothes are dark, as if she were in mourning. Leading experts worldwide agree that the value of this painting is between 400 billion and 1 trillion euros. Of course, despite all estimates, this picture is not commercially available. It has hung in the Louvre in Paris since the end of the 18th century. Every year, millions of people look at the painting and have a strange feeling and sense that something is not right. And in the next episode of ParaDoc, Snake Image in the Papal Audience Chamber. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you don't want to miss any more videos from us in the future, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell. It would be a huge support to our work.